against a stone.
But what did Christ say? Come on.
Jesus said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Right.
Verse 8. Again, the devil taketh him up into exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him.
He showed him all the kingdoms of the world, even this one. Showed him like, look, this is what's going on. Come on.
And said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
See, so you get the riches of the world if you fall down and worship the devil. See, Kanye said it. He said, I sold my soul to the devil. It was a crappy deal. But it came with a few toys and a Happy Meal. James Brown, too. Y'all look at a song called Funky Drummer. He right in there calling himself the devil's son-in-law. Right in there. I read the lyrics. This man called himself the devil's son-in-law. They told David Chappelle he was crazy. They tried to make him put a dress on. David Chappelle said, oh, no, I ain't doing that. So now they say he crazy and then he moved to Africa. Come on, bro. Come on.
Then said Jesus unto him.
This is what Christ said to Satan when Satan offered him the riches of the world. Come on, bro.
Get thee hence, Satan.
He told him, get behind me. He ordered Satan behind him. Get behind me. And this is what you're supposed to do whenever you tempt me. Come on, bro.
For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
You see that? Come on.
Then the devil leaveth, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Now when Jesus had heard, that was it.
You see that? So when Christ, the Son of God, was tempted, he went to the scriptures and chopped Satan. That's what you do. You go to the scripture. If you tempted to rob a bank, now get behind me. Thou shalt not steal. No thief will get to the kingdom of heaven. And trip off how long that inspiration stay on you. It's gonna flee. Everything's spiritual. Ask your question, brother.
Is it true that the only reason why Jesus couldn't be tempted by the devil is because he wasn't born, by man? You know how we make kids today?
No, he just was. He just was tempted.
He was placed in the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
So I'm saying he couldn't be tempted by the devil.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. That was his whole. We just read he was tempted, but see, check us out. He was placed in the Virgin Mary, right? But who did she descend from?
Exactly.
See, she comes out the tribe of Judah, from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, on down. He was a man, make no mistake about it, but he was the son of God.
Okay, so he was tempted, but he passed.
Yeah, you can do the same thing. Okay. You feel me?
And remember,
that was the reason. That was the reason of him dying and shedding his blood. That's believing in him, so you can have power over the devil. Grab Ephesians 6 for me, one of the brothers. I'm gonna show you that. Good question. Good question.
Hey,
Ephesians 6.
Remember, every entity has a choice. Even Satan had a choice. Even Jesus got his own choices he can make. Every entity has a choice.
Jesus was faithful and still is faithful to his Father. You feel me? Kept the commandments of God to the letter.
He passed, though, they thought that he couldn't be tempted, not knowing that was the attempt.
Yeah, that was him. Because if he slipped right there, that would have made him not the Messiah. You feel me? But he passed the test, showing that we can pass the test as well, but we gotta apply it. Like if you tempted to do something that you know is wrong, you supposed to rebuke that inspiration like Christ rebuked the devil. Because everybody today is taking it. Everybody's taking the payoff. You feel me? And that's a shame, man. Most of our young brothers and sisters look up to these people. They look right up to these people, quick. They want to be like Kanye, Jay-Z. Kanye's last album was called Yeezus. But check us out. You know what's crazy? Jesus. Like he's trying to say he's Jesus, in other words. Now check us out. Y'all remember when Kanye first came out? What was his first single?
Jesus Walks.
Jesus Walks. He goes from Jesus Walks to him selling his soul to the devil. Quick. You feel me? They gonna turn you. You only gonna get so far without their influence in that industry. You only gonna get so far.
You know what though? If you like David Chappelle did, he turned around and walked away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now it's like they shut him down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
He can't get no work. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be persecuted.
He can't get no work or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're gonna be persecuted when you stand up for the God of his Bible.
He said a cross from the white man, right? The white man asking him all these questions, you know what I'm saying? And David Chappelle sat there and said that he was one of them.
Yeah, I seen that.
Them questions that man was asking David Chappelle, they was already written. They had him asking them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I seen that, but it let you know when you're trying to get down with the nations and glory of this world, this is who you got to sell out to. So you see, you running the world. We read the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So how do you go against or bang against these wicked inspirations? Because you're gonna be tempted. You ever been walking down the street and a wicked thought come in your head out of nowhere? You man, where did that come? Where that come from?
Happened to me, bro.
That's spiritual, bro. Look, your thoughts are gifts from the spiritual world into your brain. You as an image of God either gonna do right or you gonna do left. You feel me? Too many times we go left. We say, oh yeah, she do got a man, but wait till he move out the way. I'm gonna try to holler anyway. Instead of the law of adultery. If you lay with another man's woman, you worthy of death.
Our women don't even know the part that they play with the white.
That's why we got to get out here and
they
teach.
Don't even know.
That's why it's time for us. If we know,
they play a big part. They play a big part of the white man game and don't even.
Of course. But you know what? That's why we as a people got to get out here and teach our people ASAP.
How can we win?
By doing what we doing. That's how you do it. You apply it. Check us out. How can an ant eat an elephant? By eating pieces at a time, bro.
Right.
See that? He don't be able to swallow them all at one time, but he can nibble away at them, piece by piece till he gone. And that's what we do. We constantly come out week in, week out, and we teach this word.
You say what? You say how do y'all play a part?
No, she was saying that.
Oh, I thought you asked.
Yeah. You know, and that's a beautiful thing, sister, because a lot of sisters fall victim to what's going on. You feel me? And they actually think that this so-called government got their best interests at heart when it don't. You feel me? Just check us out. Them food stamps went offline in 17 states 2 weeks ago. You feel me? And it was women all on the news. I can't feed my children, and you feel me? So in a minute, this heathen gonna get our people as a whole out his pocket, and we gonna need each other. You know what I'm saying? Where you at? Ephesians 6?
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
Yeah.
I know that was ugly. All
Finally,
them black women
my
looking like
brother,
they can't feed their baby.
Be strong in the Lord.
Notice the Bible say, be strong in the Lord. Be strong in him. The Lord is real. He's real, so be strong in him. Come on, bro.
And in the power of his might.
Notice it say power of his might. Come on.
Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
See, so you got to put the whole armor of God on so you can stand against the wiles, meaning the tricks of the devil. That's how you stand against him. You put the armor on. We just read Christ. He was tempted by the devil. He had the whole armor of his father on. So when he was tempted, he chopped the devil. Get back. Chopped him again. Bop. Get back. And when it was done, Satan tucked his tail and left. And he only gone for a season. He be right back. You feel me? So you got to stay on guard. The scripture tell it. Matter of fact, right there from 1 Peter 5 and 6. Come on, bro.
Verse 12 again. Oh, verse 12. We on verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
This is not a flesh and blood war.
But against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
This is what we fighting against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
So you saying some of that sinful, evil, satanic thought that creep in out of nowhere when you ain't even trying to think about it, it's them municipalities and high places fucking with your head.
Those are spirits.
Yeah.
Now, what you do at that point, you either say, okay, that's the root word for inspiration, the spirit. What inspired you to do that? What, in other words, 1 Peter 5 and 6. Where that thought come from? Where that thought come from? Think about that. Like you be walking down the street and something wicked will pop in your head, and you'll be like, where did that? Yeah, we gonna go on down to 17. Where did that come from? At that point, no, you've been attacked by a principality or demon. So you either can chop that spirit by what? Go into the scripture and say, oh no, get behind me. According to the word, I'm not supposed to do that. According to the word, I'm not supposed to steal. According to the word, I'm not supposed to murder my brother.
I'm not supposed to rape.
I'm not supposed to rape. I'm not supposed to do none of these things. Of course, and guess what? That inspiration, after you chop him a few times, he end up leaving. You know he ain't even inspired to do it no more. That's how you wage war in the spirit. You can't punch Satan in the mouth or go shoot him with your 40 Glock you got.
They try to control us with fear too.
Yeah, that's why the Lord say fear not. Be strong and very courageous. The Lord ain't gave us the spirit of fear, so whenever you find yourself scared, know that's of the devil. It's not a God.
Right.
See that we ain't supposed to be scared. Right. That's Christ wasn't scared when he was banging with the devil. Feel me? Look at him like, look, you dropping today. You gotta go. You can't stay here.
They feel they can control with fear.
Yeah, that's why we gotta let that go.
Right.
Once fear is off the table, now you a threat.
We can say, At one point in time, it was killer bees. It was never no killer bees. They said one Halloween that a kid went trick-or-treating and bit into an apple in a razor blade, cut her in the mouth.
I mean, ain't
and
Halloween.
Then they stopped the kids from trick-or-treating.
I mean, Halloween is of the devil anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Why
would
we even
right.
do it?
Why would you celebrate
Don't stay
that?
away from it anyway.
I never did understand.
Jack, that you notice the pumpkin that's carved out looks like a skeleton.
Hey, Bruce.
The jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
You go research it. In the ancient world, the jack-o'-lantern was a child that was picked to be sacrificed by the Druid priests. They would kill a child and sacrifice him, and then take his fat off his body and make it into a candle and stick it into that pumpkin. He was the jack-o'-lantern for that year.
Hey.
Trick or treat.
Hey.
And for those that worship the devil, that's one of their high Sabbath days. That's one of their high holy days.
Oh, man.
It's called the Feast of the Dead. And we running around talking about some trick or treat. Well, again, what would Jesus do? He didn't do that. He kept Passover, Tabernacle, Pentecost, feast in the Bible. That's what we're supposed to be doing. God got his own holy days, or what you call holidays today.
Okay.
And that's what we're supposed to be doing. The next one coming up is the Feast of Dedication. It's on the same day as Thanksgiving this year. That's what you're supposed to be doing, not Thanksgiving, in which a lot of the natives was murdered. You feel me?
Right.
Or a lot of their land was sold off for cocoa beads and musket guns. You feel me? But you want to say Thanksgiving. You feel me? But a lot of them brothers was murdered.
Right.
Murdered. You feel me? To where they on reservations now. Barely even seen. And a lot of us are native. You feel me?
Right.
Because the original people was very dark. You looking today at the Asian and white folk get the mixing and all that, you know. So anyway, come on, bro, let's get it.
Okay.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Wherefore take unto you that the whole, let me start over again.
Come on.
Verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
See that?
And having done all to stand. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth.
First and foremost, you got to be strapped down with the truth. What is the truth according to the Bible? What's the truth?
Truth.
We gonna answer Psalms 119, 142, and then John 14.
That we are God's people.
Yeah, but what is this truth that you got to be strapped down with so you can wage war against Satan? What's the truth? Because his truth may be little boost.
Okay.
You feel me? See, when you read the Bible,
Jesus,
of course. But what did he represent? How did he walk? You feel me? What was